Chapter 2: The Mystery of Market-Winning Innovation. If he hadn't failed, Thomas Edison might not have become America's most well-known and prolific innovator. Like most entrepreneurs, when Edison first started his career, he was certain he had observed a fundamental problem he could solve. Specifically, Edison noticed that whenever Congress voted on an issue, each senator would stand one by one and call out his vote. To Edison, the inefficiency of such a system was absolutely stunning, and he realized that he could invent a system to quickly tally all the votes and skip the unnecessary and wasteful step of calling out votes. Like any good entrepreneur following the traditional product-based model, Edison jumped right in, built the system, and then brought his automatic vote tally system to Congress. Imagine Edison bounding up the steps to the congressional offices, eager to demonstrate how he had solved such a significant problem, and excited for the payoff at the end of his hard work. Now picture his outright surprise when the senators listened and then bluntly rejected his invention. They didn't want it. Like most entrepreneurs, Edison was sure he had observed a real market need, and he must have been incensed at the inability of his customers to understand how he had saved them hours and hours by changing an inefficient and silly voting process. But the truth was that Edison hadn't validated his assumption that the senators actually wanted an automatic voting system. In fact, as it turned out, there was a great deal of politics and posturing in the calling of votes, and the senators weren't about to give up that system. Fortunately, rather than letting the failure destroy him, Edison recovered, and in the process discovered two very important principles that allowed him to become one of the most famous serial innovators of all time. First, he learned the crucial need to understand your customers, specifically the job they are trying to get done and why. After that experience, Edison reframed all his future efforts with one simple phrase: "I never want to build something that nobody wants to buy." Second, Edison learned the value of rapidly iterating to get to the solution customers needed. For example, in developing a commercially viable light bulb, Edison actually went through over 10,000 prototypes before getting it right. Had Edison followed the traditional product development model of writing a product specification, building a product, then trying to sell it, his competitors would have beat him by decades. Edison's approach in understanding customer needs and rapidly iterating are at the core of the nail-it, then scale-it (NISI) process,